Okay, so for today's deep dive, we're looking at the fractured harvest. It's a source that it really captures this fascinating paradox.
Mm.
When does fixing a problem actually end up destroying the whole system? That's really our mission today, to figure out how that local perfection leads to total collapse.
It's that classic tension, isn't it? You have the drive for what the source calls systemic efficiency, this grand vision.
Right.
And then you have the reality on the ground, which is just people wanting simple, immediate solutions.
And Elias, the builder in this story, his solution was the loom. He saw the whole valley as one seamless song.
A digital tapestry, yeah. It was
Yeah.
meant to connect every single farm, warehouse, market, everything.
But that vision, it just didn't land. The valley folk were, they were terrified by
It's
that.
classic client defensiveness. They just saw complexity. They weren't being difficult. They just, felt overwhelmed.
Yeah, their whole response was basically, I just need a plow that works.
Exactly. Not a whole new system I have to learn.
So Elias felt this incredible pressure to simplify. His resources were dwindling, the clock was ticking, and he made a choice.
A fatal one, really. He pivoted. But instead of simplifying the interface, he just severed the connections. He tore the loom apart.
Gave one farmer a tool for their soil, another manager a sensor for their roof, just isolated pain points.
And you know what? It worked. His sales progress shot through the roof
For a while.
for a while, which brings us to the tragedy of it all.
Because that short-term success created the absolute perfect conditions for long-term failure.
It did. Every single part of the system achieved this perfect local optimization. The farmers, they focused only on their soil.
And ended up growing way too much of the wrong crop.
And at the same time, the warehouses, now perfectly optimized for their own storage metrics.
And they started refusing shipments that didn't fit their rigid schedules.
The very definition of silo thinking. You see it everywhere. Each department hits its KPIs, but the overall business grinds to a halt.
And the long-term value, the whole point of the system, just collapsed.
Yeah. That final image is just... It's so stark. Pristine farms, perfect warehouses, but empty roads. The lonely, disjointed humming of 100 perfect, isolated machines.
It's a total system fracture,
Yes.
which, brings us to the lessons here. If you look at the source, the silent symphony,
Right, the innovator's lesson.
the insight is so clear. Elias had to simplify for people to adopt it, yes, but he simplified the wrong thing. He needed to simplify the user experience, the interface.
Not the interconnection.
He kept the instruments but destroyed the symphony.
And that connects right to the investor's lesson from the asset of sand. The argument there is that building all these little shacks for a quick return,
Lacked the mortar of systemic connection. That's the key phrase.
the investments generated quick cash, but the equity was, well, it was built on sand.
Exactly. The only equity that actually endures is the resilience of the network itself, the flow between the parts.
Yeah.
Anything else is just short-term extraction. So the core takeaway from Elias's story is that if you only focus on fixing specific little headaches, you often just build higher walls instead of the bridge you intended.
So here's the thought to leave you with. If your current perfect fix works flawlessly, but only in isolation, you need to step back and ask a hard question. Are you building a sturdy gate that opens up to your neighbors? Or are you just perfecting the walls of a lonely, very efficient kingdom?